Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Oliver Wiedmaier, founder of Voyage Trading Group. Today we're going to scan for momentum stocks that are consolidating, and the goal is to set alerts or add them to a watch list for potential breakout in either the next day or the next few sessions. And so in order to build this watch list, I need to know what it is that I'm looking for and to have some sort of criteria as to what qualifies as a stock that I'm willing to add to a watch list or set an alert. So the first criteria is a stock must have established momentum. And so for me, I want a stock that has made at least a 20% move in, a week to 2 weeks. And the momentum must be linear and orderly. So we have an example here. It's just trending very nice. It's riding the wave of the momentum. And typically, you'll see a moving average that it's riding, whether it's a 10 EMA, 9 EMA, whatever you prefer. Secondly, I want to see the ranges narrowing day after day. And so from the high to the low, that is considered the range. And so I want to see the ranges narrowing day after day. That's showing that the range is getting smaller, so the stock price is not so volatile anymore. Lastly, right before the breakout, I want to see tight action. So I want to see the closes, preferably 2 tight closes is mandatory before the big breakout day. And so I want to see the closes getting tight in this narrowing range in an established momentum trend. So we have the momentum comes up, then it consolidates, and then it breaks out really high. And so that's what we're looking for. I use TradingView when I do my scans, and simply what I look for is a stock that's up 20% in 1 week with an average volume of 30 days, and the price is above $3. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to filter from price, from lowest to high. We have 56 names here, and essentially I'm going to be very quick. I'm just going to click, 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 and it should be very obvious when the stock is meeting those criterias. It's very obvious. So I'm going to try to provide some commentary as I go through so that you're just not listening to me breathe. But again, the stock that like this jumps out immediately. You have this uptrend here, right? You have this big gap up in this trend here, 40%, pulls back 3 days. You get some tight here. And so I saw this during the trading session, so I set an alert here. So I have an alert set just over these 2 tight closes. And so what I'm going to do is just flag this for tomorrow. But this is exactly what we're looking for. Nice tight closes in this momentum, established momentum trend. Okay, so we're just going to keep going quickly. This is just too far extended for me. I do want to see just a different look. And also, it's also a $4 biotech stock, which I'm not too keen to trade those. This is okay. The range is not narrowing too much, so I did set an alert, but I'm not going to add it to a watch list. And as we go through these names, like I said, the best looking stocks will jump right out. It'll be very obvious. The reason why I like to filter having the parameters that are kind of wide is so that I'm seeing a bunch of different scenarios, and then I use my eyes to filter and not be so stringent on the actual scanner criteria. Leave the criteria for the scanner a little bit wide, but use my eyes to really be critical. Sometimes what happens is if you tweak your scanner to be so stringent, you really miss a lot of stocks, and also you don't give yourself the room for your own personal judgment. This isn't too bad here, but again, I would like it to come back in a little bit here, and we're right up against a flat 200 SMA, and so for this, I'll pass. We want it to be very obvious this is a sort of stock where you want to see it pull in. So this would qualify as an established momentum phase. And so this is something that you want to put on a watch list. I think I already have it flagged. Green, I use green for potential pullback. So not interested right now, but I'm leaving that for the future. This perfect. Look at this. Very nice tight closes. Again, I have an alert set here. I'm going to flag this purple, which means that potential buy for the next day or the session after that. You have volume drying up here. It's the TI65 is on, which means that it's in an established momentum trend. This is very good. Continue to go. Nice momentum trend. But this will need to pull in a little bit, but this has a lot of overhead supply, so I'm not interested for that type of name right now. This is a good example. SMR is very good setup, but let's go back to ALR. This is not considered tight closes, and you have kind of the ranges are not narrowing either. So I understand why someone would want to add this to a watch list. However, for me, it doesn't really fit the criteria that I'm looking for. This, however, does. You have the narrowing ranges. This day is smaller than this day, and the closes are tight within this big update here. This is the highest volume ever. Signature, well, volume signature. So I have an alert set, and then I will just flag it, and then we'll just keep moving on. This is essentially what we're looking for. OKLI is definitely on a pullback list. Zim pullback list. NNE really doing well. However, not near a buy point for us, so we just keep on moving. This is moving along just fine. However, a lot of near-term overhead resistance, so I am going to pass on that. And that is essentially what I'm doing. This flagging very nicely, little too noisy for me. I don't like holding stocks that change overnight so drastically due to news coming out. So I'm going to pass on this, but technically speaking, this would be a fine stock to add to your list. We're just going to keep on going, and that was the full list. So then we'll do this one more time, but this time we're going to use a different scanner. This is a 3-month scanner, and same criteria. However, we're looking at $5 stocks this time and performance of 50% in 3 months. So same criteria. We are going to just look for tight ranges being built in a momentum trend, and we're just going to keep on going very quickly. And hopefully we find some stuff and we can use it as a learning lesson. What I want to show you, this is a decent update here from 2 days tight. But at this point, this is not something that I want to trade. This would go on a watch list. Okay. This is the triggered. So now it's reset, right? So we're not going to try to buy it up here because the move has already started from this day here. So it would have to totally reset. This was a fantastic gap up. I bought this here, it gapped up. I sold a little bit. Well, I sold all of it up here, but then it sold off really quick. But this is what we're looking for. We want to find stocks that are in a established momentum trend, pulls in, nice tight closes, and then that offer the opportunity for a breakout to then have so much power it gaps up the next day. That is ultimately what we want. And again, we're going to go very quickly. We don't want to trade stuff like this. Yes, it had this nice momentum, 101% in just a few sessions, but the momentum is dead at this point. The further away the price gets from that momentum, the less actual momentum it has. And so it's very weak, and so we just keep on moving. Very nice setup here, but now it's not set up. But if this was like this, I would say put an alert up here and then take the trade if the alert goes off and it meets all your criteria. But at this point, it's not set up for us, so we're going to keep on moving. That's wide and loose. TWG, this is just wide and loose. This is not something that is tight and showing the range contraction. So we just pass on it. Again, the momentum is dead at this point. It needs to set up again. This was decent here, but this big ugly candle here, I wouldn't consider that orderly momentum, um, which is why not a pass for me, or why it's a pass for me. Is decent, tight here, but it's awfully far away from this big gap up here, and so in my opinion, the momentum is dead. And if I'm looking to trade, to be in a trade for 3 to 5 days, I want to make sure that I'm getting in stocks that are set up where once they come out of that tight action, they can run for 2 or 3 days to extract that percentage. Like this, for example, it only ran up 3 days, but buying here would have got you 28% in just 3 days. And so that is what we're looking for. Again, here, 30% in just 3 days. So it needs that tight action and that big volume coming out of that tight action to continue the momentum, and you can really extract some good gains in just a few days. But it needs to have that momentum. This is fantastic. I have a markup here, but I do have another alert set. But at this point, it's starting to lose some momentum. I have posted this on X, Ollie _ all caps. If you want to see the full write up, just look at my profile under Rail, RAIL, and you'll see the full markup. At this point, a lot of these stocks are just trending. We've already established WVEs, very good. CMPO, it's just trending, right? And so the point of this is you want to get in during the beginning of that momentum burst, that momentum phase, and then you want to ride it as it rides those EMAs. And you're not going to get involved unless it sets up with that tight price action. We're almost done here. Now I feel like I'm rambling at this point. You're not going to find a lot of setups, just a few, and that is okay. That doesn't mean that the scanner doesn't work well. It just means that we have stringent criteria, which is good because the more that we focus on 1 or 2 setups, the bigger we can trade and the more confidence we have. And so building the confidence to take large positions is how you really move your account. It doesn't take 10, 15 trades a day, 40 trades a week. It just takes really understanding how these setups work and then pushing when those setups occur. CPR, this was on my watch list for today. It broke out, but I didn't like the volume, so I did not buy it. The idea is we are finding trades that are meeting all of our criteria. We only want to trade 5-star setups because if we start lowering our criteria, then we are going to be going against our rule, which is to trade big in the best high quality names, which is how we double our account. This is a fantastic setup right here, UPST. This is something that you can really trade some big size on. This meets our criteria. I have 2 alerts set here. I'm just going to flag it. But this meets a lot of our criteria, and so the chances are if we get a big breakout day, the momentum will continue 3 to 5 days, which is what we want to see. If we look at the character of the stock, whenever it has these big days, there is solid follow through, and that's what we want to see. We see when it starts getting accumulated, there is follow through, and so that is going to leave us in a position where we can make a lot of money by getting in very tight, very big. When it's breaking out, but it has to break out. You can't assume it's breaking out now. It has to be broken out first. And so a lot of people will anticipate, then they overmanage and they get frustrated. and then they get stopped out. And then once it breaks out, they feel frustrated because they just got stopped up and now it's rebounding. And so it's not a great place to be. So we need to wait, have patience, and when the time is right, you buy with size. Kava, this has pretty low ADR, less than 4%, and it's just kind of riding. So this fantastic setup here, APP. This was a stock that I had actually on my watch list today because it had these tight days here. It was in this momentum, and it gapped up, and so I bought right at the open. About 3 minutes into the session, I saw that I wasn't fading, so I took a position, and that was it. It was beautiful. I was prepared. I was ready for this. I wasn't a late buyer. I bought right when it fit my criteria, and that is how I like to trade. And hopefully we can do that a few more times. See, Carvana is getting very tight here. We'll see if it runs up into earnings. Actually, I'm not going to set any alerts or anything. It's too close to earnings. This is a pullback name here. Just not really liking that setup too much. This was a great setup here, and you can see that it's riding that EMA. Dual, this is trying to consolidate here. I do have alert set. We will flag it, but it needs to break out. You can't guess that it's going to break out. And what I mean is when you see this thing, when this alert goes off and you see that it's breaking out, it has not yet broken out. And so it can get really frustrating, but you need it to really break out. Okay, so you need to watch it. It really needs to break out. It needs to have a lot of volume. It needs to, you can see like this, it really broke out. Okay. It really broke out. Okay. You see here, when it did this, it really broke out. There's no doubt that it was a breakout. If this alert goes off first thing in the morning, it's still in the consolidation. The alert isn't a buy trigger. It's just letting me know to put my eyes on the chart and then dictate whether it's a true breakout or not. So for that, I'm going to leave it at this. I hope you learned something. If you want to follow me on X, you can find me at Ali_all caps. If you want to join my community, totally free on Discord, it's Voyage Trading Group. I have links all over the place. If you want to find some one-on-one mentorship, some coaching, what I do is I bring people in. We do video calls. They show me what trades they've recently made. They tell me what their system is. I see what they're doing, and then I tweak their system. Or maybe they don't have a system, and they're just trying to understand why they can't make money. Well, what we do is we sit down. I say, tell me your biggest 3 winners, your biggest 3 losers, and tell me why you traded them and what happened. And then what we do is we develop a plan, and then I monitor them, coach them. It's something that you don't get from trading communities, because communities is a lot of members trying to teach each other rather than focus on what's going on with you and developing a system for you, because everyone's system is different. It's on your own personality and your daily schedule and things like that, and your risk tolerance. So what I do is I bring in members and we develop a plan for them. It's just like a meal plan or a workout plan. Everyone has a different goals, different strategy. And the idea is to figure out what's going to work for you. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks a lot.